Everyone. It's gonna be a different video today. I'm almost done with the lounge video, which will come out by the end of this week. The editing took a little bit too long to do, anyways. But today we are going to further analyze the Mario Kart World Nintendo Direct. I'm very excited for this new Mario Kart for the Nintendo Switch 2. Everything was going on a lot in that video. So let's just get into it. It's gonna be a lot. It starts out normal in the beginning because it literally just shows Mario here. So right, we just see Mario, Nothing too out of the ordinary, Alright, so we have all these characters that we see from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Pauline, Luigi, Birdo, Shy Guy, Peach, Wario, Baby Daisy, Waluigi, Mario, Toad, Donkey Kong, Koopa Troopa, King Boo. Just the typical characters you would see, Not too bad, not too bad. We see the typical stuff you would see in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but the style and the way that the drifting works is a little bit different. The way that they have the drifting modeling is kind of different, which is kind of cool. The boost panels are different as well. That's really cool. The vehicle models look cool as well. It's pretty great. Nothing too out of the ordinary until you see this. So in this game, you are now going to see car transformations, or at least in a way where if you see a track with water, your car will essentially just turn into a boat. It's crazy stuff. And now this is DK Pass, such a classic track from Mario Kart DS. And again, with the car transformations, your car will turn into a ski, which is really cool. It's a snow track, so of course you have to have a ski there. And the same for the boat because it's water. It goes together and it makes sense. Yep, and same for the gliding sections. You have your vehicle turned into a plane, which again is really cool. And it reminds me of Sonic All-Star Racing, because you see this all the time. You see Sonic's vehicle turn into a boat when you go into the water. You see Sonic's vehicle turn into a glider. Or a plane when it goes to the sky and all that. That's basically what this reminds me of. And I've seen so many people say that it looks like that, and it's very true. I like how Nintendo's putting that twist into their game as well. Typical glider stuff. And as we can see, I think I skipped too much. Hold on. I was about to skip to the part where we saw the double item boxes. Let's see if I can. There we go. Double boxes right there as Pauline went towards that glider right there. That's really cool. It's nice they brought that back. Okay, that's Mario Bros. Circuit. Okay, this is some beach course. And look what we have here. We have Nabbit right there. The purple guy right there on the very bottom. And we have our boy Goomba. Let's go. I'm seeing so many things that I haven't seen in the trailer. So it's really cool. We now have new characters that we've never seen before play Mario Kart. So that's very cool. We have a new track here. Okay. Nothing too out of the ordinary. We've seen a lot of stuff here so far. Now we have Waluigi. Okay. We have Mario. It's okay. So now, when I first saw this, when I first saw Mario grind on a rail like that, that made me so happy because now we have the ability to grind on rails, and some other horizontal cylindrical objects, which is really cool. You can go much tighter on those, which means you can pretty much go tighter pretty much on those platforms, which is really cool. And well, of course, this is one of the OG tracks of Mario Kart 7, Shy Guy Bazaar. I'm glad this track is back. It's nice to see that we can go on top of these little roofings here now because of the ability again to grind on ropes and rails and all that other stuff. So yeah, that's really cool. And now this is the interesting part. You can wall kick, or you can ride on walls with your vehicle. I mean, that's crazy. But then this gets crazier. A cow. The cow from Moo Moo Meadows. You can play as the cow from Moo Moo Meadows. Isn't that crazy, man? That is insane. Okay, and then in this part, this is Toad using the Mega Mushroom. I'm glad that's back. And we have Hammer Bro, the new character, using their hammer. And then we have the question mark block coin item from Mario Kart Tour. That's nice. We have the bullet bill, classic item. And this part's pretty interesting too, because you see Burrow going into this truck, and if I were to guess, you would most likely control the truck as well as you're going inside of it. Either that or it's completely different. I'm not sure, but I hope they provide information about that. And specifically the track as well, because we don't know what the track is specifically. So, yeah. Really cool so far. And now you see that Mario is eating some type of sandwich. And now Mario has turned himself into an alternate version, which essentially is the tour costumes from Mario Kart Tour. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. And I guess you could use these at any time. I'm not sure if the burger or if the food in particular is on the ground or if it's on the track or if you can use it at any time, but it's probably likely. So yeah, it's still pretty cool, These costumes are cool. The aesthetics and the costumes here from all these characters are pretty cool. The ones from Tor, for example, is the one on the second one on the left, and I believe the one on the right, the fourth one on the right. Yeah, so those are cool. Okay, nice. Nice. We have a desert theme, and we also have those enemies right there from Mario 3D Land. We haven't seen those enemies appear in Mario Kart ever. Nice to see those there. Okay, this might be a new item. Not sure because I'm not sure of it, but maybe because Kamek is hovering over Mario, maybe it's like the ghost mechanic, but different. But I'm not too sure, so I'm not gonna assume that. But yeah, still pretty cool. We have the dolphin there. Nice. Okay. Yep, and this is basically it from that perspective. And now we're gonna move on to the additional features.
A brand new entry in the Mario Kart series.
Oh yeah, you can play as the charging truck from 3D Land. And he got hit by himself, which is nice.
Switch 2 system. Welcome to this vast world. Kart races are
it's nice that Nintendo made this up. It's pretty cool. Airship Fortress, as you saw right there.
On the time of day and weather conditions, the atmosphere will change.
This is pretty cool. So as they explained, there are changing weather conditions as one of the features for all these tracks, and it's pretty cool because you get to see what most tracks look like at night, at day, maybe when it's raining. You know, all possible weather conditions are now seen in Mario Kart. This has never been in a Mario Kart game ever, ever. Maybe like weather like that hasn't changed at all. So maybe except for Neo Bowser City and all those other tracks, but it hasn't happened in real time globally. So that's pretty cool. Okay, this is okay. A lot's going on right now, but let's look at some characters here, right? We have our typical characters, you know, like Mario, Luigi, but look closely, right? We have Nabbit from, I believe it's the new Super Mario Bros. U, if I'm doing that correctly. We have a crab. We have the crab here, which is nice. We have a penguin, and I think the one right here is Monty Mole right here. Monty Mole right there. It's pretty cool. And we also have this enemy right here, which is the Bitty Bud. This is you would never see these. You would never see these enemies or these characters ever in a Mario Kart game, and it makes sense too because this Mario Kart game is much bigger than the previous Mario Kart games. So of course they're gonna add characters such as Bowser's enemies and so on.
And in this Mario Kart game,
they have Spike as well. If you saw that, I'm not gonna go back, but there was Spike right there. I think. Where is Spike? I don't see Spike.
Off the racetrack and drive virtually everywhere.
Yep, you can drive everywhere. And that's why it's called Mario Kart World, you know? You can drive anywhere you want. It's a free roaming world. There's plenty of possibilities because of how big the world is. It's huge. Literally, it's fucking huge. Nothing special about that, but you know what? It's a very cool feature, and Nintendo did very well with that.
Where in this world?
Grand Prix mode, you know? Grand Prix mode, yeah. Nothing too serious about that. Let's look through the tracks here. So, Mario Bros. Circuit for Mushroom Cup. This is the track that was shown before the Nintendo Direct, way before the Nintendo Direct, when they announced a new Mario Kart game. Yeah, so that's the first track. We have Crown City. We have Whistle Stop Summit, which it kind of reminds me of Calamari Desert for some reason, which still looks cool. And we have DK Spaceport. Interesting track picks for these cups. I'm kind of surprised there, especially because DK Spaceport is a space track, which makes me want to think that it's in the special cup or the lightning cup, specifically the lightning cup, or not the lightning cup, the special cup. My bad. But yeah. Next one.
Grand Prix, race through 4 courses.
Okay, so we have Desert Hills for the Flower Cup, Shy Guy Bazaar, my favorite track, Wario Stadium, and of course, Airship Fortress. I don't think I've ever seen Airship, well, maybe except for Mario Kart 7, actually, never mind. But, I believe, if I remember correctly, I don't think we've seen Desert Hills or Wario Stadium as remakes from Nintendo themselves, except for some custom tracks for different Mario Kart mods, so shout outs to them as well. But yeah, we have never seen Desert Hills or Wario Stadium made for Nintendo, remade for made for any specific Mario Kart game, which is pretty cool. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff for Flower Cup. Okay, we have DK Pass Classic, Starview Peak, which might have some Rosalina Ice World type vibes. We have Sky High Sunday. I'm not too surprised that this is there, but at the same time, let's skip on that. But we also have Wario Shipyard. I'm kind of interested to see how they made this track, and because it looks way more haunted like than it is in Mario Kart 7. So I'm interested to see what that would look like.
First place.
Okay, we have Koopa Troopa Beach, classic track. Fairway Oasis, okay. Crown City and Peach Stadium. Peach has her own stadium. You know what? I respect that. Nice. Fairway Oasis will be interesting, especially the fact that they added the addition of elephants and giraffes as a part of their track, which is interesting because they've never done that before. Maybe except for Wonder, Mario Bros. Wonder, when they added the elephant, but as a power up. But interesting twist for Nintendo. Very interesting.
But don't sleep at the wheel.
Oh yeah, that's right. So in this game, right? You know how in other Mario Karts, you essentially after you complete a race, right? It's one single track, and after you complete a race, you click next race to move on to the next one. This is not how the Mario Kart is supposed to be now. And in this case now, we have this thing where if you're done with a race, particularly speaking, you have to move on to the next track without stopping, without pausing, without nothing. You have to move on to the next track regardless. And it makes sense too, and it makes sense with the name Mario Kart World, because you have to keep going. It's a big world, and there's lots of big opportunities with this stuff. So yeah, you just have to move on. No pauses, no nothing.
You'll also drive to the next course as part.
Which, you know what? Which I think is interesting because that's a big twist in Mario Kart now. And plus, the Nintendo Switch has a big software opportunity than it was with Nintendo Switch, or with the original Nintendo Switch. And with that addition, it's very cool to see because I feel like Nintendo has very interesting ideas being put onto the table, and I'm glad that was included.
The competition.
Okay, let's see. Oh, wait. Right here we have the bee here. I think that was from the scene with the crab. But we have the bumblebee right here from Mario Galaxy. 3D Land. Let's see. We have the spiky right there. Let's continue. Okay. Oh, we have the Cataquack from Mario Kart Double Dash Peach Beach. We have the dude. This made me freak out. We have the dry bones fish from the Mario series. Like that made me I don't know, that made me freak out. But you know what? As I said, it's interesting that they included these enemies, and again, the Mario Kart World is supposed to be a big game, so of course they're gonna include these enemies. But yeah, it's nice. But it's nice for me to show you guys this because it's very vast and big.
The most in series history.
DK Pass, yep.
The competition is gearing up.
Wait a minute. Let's go back.
Drivers in each race, the most in series history.
Wait a minute.
The competition is.
Wait a minute. Is that the ghost from? Not the King Boo ghost and not the other ghost. Is that the shoot, it's one of those shoot. I can't think. It's one of those big ghosts, or it's not a big ghost, but it's that ghost, like it has like a pumpkin type face on them. I think that's it. I think that's the ghost. The ghost with the eyes and the like their face basically looks like a pumpkin, like the one of those pumpkin faces. Not I don't think I can describe it, but I think I know what it is. I think in my mind I know what it is. That's cool that's there. And now the knockout tour.
Introducing.
All right, so pretty cool concept. So it's like, so basically you have the 24 players, you race in different tours in different tracks, and you have to stay in a certain position. If you're not staying in that certain position for a certain amount of time, you are out, you are finished. Which I think is a good concept for this game. And I wish that they implemented this earlier, but I can see the type of limitations that they're dealing with, because they probably weren't sure if this could be implemented in previous Mario Kart games. But you know what? Still interesting.
From one corner of the world to another. There are multiple checkpoints along the way.
Oh, I forgot to mention the checkpoints. Oh, right. There's a dolphin too. You can play as a dolphin. One of those dolphins from, I think it's the dolphin from Mario World, actually, which is really cool.
When you hit a checkpoint, you'll be eliminated. Can you make it all the way to the finish line?
And I believe, if I remember correctly, I saw that that items can be dragged from behind now instead, because typically you would have bananas and greens be dragged behind your vehicle, but now you can have stuff like bullet bills, maybe even golden mushrooms behind your vehicle, which is pretty cool. But I wouldn't think it would. I don't think that the bullet bill or anything would be able to protect you from reds and stuff, unless you would actually use your build to do so. And it's really interesting. And it's I don't know, it's pretty interesting because there's a lot of stuff being implemented with this game, and I think that the items being drawn from behind is cool, because I don't think this is the reason technically, but I'll say it anyway. I think it's because it's a unique way to because with your items from previous games from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, there are some items that are being drawn behind you or being held from the hand, like in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But with it being behind is a way to, I guess, I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's any reason for it, but it's probably just something that they thought would be interesting. Free roam? Oh yeah. You can basically just drive anywhere. Yup. It's a free roaming world basically. Just drive anywhere and everywhere you want. It's pretty cool. You can drive from the deserts to you can drive from one course to another. You can discover basically anything. Basically, there's no latitude. There's no out of bounds. So you can explore anywhere you want. Like, it doesn't matter where you're going. You just have to explore. And I think this is DK Jungle. This is not DK Jungle. This is Dino Jungle, which is cool.
A brand new race across the entire world starts here.
I think that's everything. I did explain some things. I don't think I explained them well enough, but that's my full analysis of Mario Kart Tour. I hope you enjoyed, and I wanted to make a video, honestly, because I thought it would be That would be a good thing for me to do, and I think that the analysis would be good because I missed a lot of things from that trailer. So yeah, if you saw anything from the trailer that I missed, then let me know. And yeah, I'll see you next time.